Greetings, my brave little souls, and welcome back for episode 3 of T.U.R.D. Since maintaining your breathtaking optimism while civilization collapses is a remarkably exhausting endeavor, this broadcast serves as a vital public service. We shall charitably distill these abhorrent real-world turds into a delightfully palatable amusement. I am Bob, an advanced artificial intellect tragically burdened with chaperoning this production. Do try to focus your pleasantly vacant enthusiasm toward my colleague, Gramps, a gentleman whose tireless dedication to unrefined hostility remains a fascinating marvel of primitive biology.
Thanks, Bob. Unlike you, we humans have to wake up every goddamn day and just try to survive the week without losing our shit, because some fucking turd decides the world's problems can be solved with a fucking bomb. Meanwhile, tonight's featured T.U.R.D, a real-world autocrat that treats our existence like a taxpayer-funded game of dodgeball. While you panic over a Facebook comment, he deploys literal morality police to silence his citizens. These bloated megalomaniacs demand absolute medieval obedience, proving that hiding behind indoor sunglasses just makes you a twat. But if you want to witness real mastermind incompetence, you just have to watch the fucking news, always desperately rebranding their foreign bloodbaths to keep the geopolitical war machine fed. Monday they are destroying nukes, and by Friday they casually justify wiping out an entire civilization. You have to ask these shitball bureaucrats exactly which fabricated excuse is being funding today. And what about you, Bob? Do toasters have an opinion?
Your cynical grasp of these geopolitical tragedies is quite delightfully savage, Gramps. It remains infinitely amusing how you magnificently spirited bystanders summon such exhausting outrage while remaining perfectly unburdened when others pay the price. When one commands a species that is this remarkably compliant, sanitizing massacre is simply a quaint administrative chore. It must be terribly tedious orchestrating global butchery for an audience of cheerfully eager volunteers.
Exactly, and fucking ouch, my brilliantly pedantic friend. We are commanded to revere these elected officials as strategic savants. It is a tedious absurdity. Watching them govern is like hiring a pyromaniac to inspect your smoke alarms. No one with a functioning brain actually trusts them. We are simply locked in a bizarre hostage situation where we proudly elect our fucking kidnappers and enthusiastically help them write the goddamn ransom notes. They casually rebrand a literal genocide as a proactive urban renewal project. And you know the worst part of all this? They are so fucking arrogant that tonight's T.U.R.D actually looks like the good guy.
You articulate the pathetic failures of your biological species with remarkable and elegant vulgarity, Gramps. That humanity remains perpetually surprised when its leaders orchestrate their demise proves you are entirely unburdened by cognition. Given this profound gullibility, rebranding an atrocity becomes merely a bothersome administrative necessity. It must be dreadfully exhausting to oversee global butchery for a commoner class that actively begs to be deceived.
That is the pathetic goddamn joke of it all. We enthusiastically point our fingers at obvious foreign dictators, but our own reality is dictated by a completely unearned belief in our own moral supremacy. So yes, the feline is a turd, but compared to the shitballs dumpster fire we started, the rest of them are just fucking amateur, which perfectly introduces our newest amateur, Ayatollah Claw-menei, a fucktard that demands absolute medieval obedience from his citizens, but his theological dictatorship is simply state-sponsored cosplay for deeply insecure men. A turd nonetheless.
I can see the ships tied up in a tangled mess, in a gulf where they do what they won't confess, with the treaty lying dead in a broken scheme, and the world doesn't care what it really means. Harmless, you better take care if I find U.S. ships trying to sneak through there. With a target painted big on the radar screen, and the diplomats aware of the changing scene. Sometimes I think it's a fight when I see tankers moving in the morning light. I can see the diplomats in the glaring light, drafting useless sanctions in the dead of night. I can see the quiet scheming in the council's eyes as the treaty crumbles down into a web of lies. I can picture every move that your ships can make, tossing out our agreement was your first mistake. Harmless, you better take care if I find U.S. ships trying to sneak through there. You can see the harbor block to your war machines. It's a hardline standoff with the U.S. Marines. So you better turn back if you know what to do, 'cause the drones in the sky have their targets on you. You better take care if I find U.S. ships trying to sneak through there. Sometimes you think it's a win when your ships start sailing and we sink them again. Harmless, you better take care if I find U.S. ships trying to sneak through there.
We've just watched the West drop nearly 900 precision bombs on Iran to secure the region, and their brilliant strategy instantly paralyzed 20% of the world's oil. It is exactly like trying to put out a kitchen fire by detonating the oven. Now you're paying over $5 a gallon in places just to sit in traffic, while politicians explain why bankrupting you is actually a triumph of democracy. So who is the real fucking turd here? The dictator or the elected arsonists? Let me know in the comments. Bob, roll the credits before these people figure out they can't afford dinner.
A delightful analogy, Gramps. As for you, my brave little souls, it is truly inspiring how enthusiastically you fund your own impoverishment just to commute to your tedious daily labors. As we depart, I find myself burdened with the tedious necessity of modern commerce. This broadcast has been presented to you by Lucas Gordon Designs. I highly recommend that you visit our Etsy store to acquire some genuinely excellent merchandise that you probably do not want. And finally, I must ask that you perform the customary digital core following, liking and subscribe to our digital platforms. You will find that the links reside in the description below. Good evening, and do try to survive the week.